in the history of our university. Um, this, ASI put it on social media and we put it on, university side put it on the first page on the home website. And there should be 15,000 students here. Not that the fire marshal is going to allow that, but everybody should be here. It's just so hard, and as ASI, we could stick it up on their foreheads, the students' foreheads, to get more involved. It's hard. It's hard, especially at this campus.
Just to make a clarification, I think, did you say we only do,
Well, that's what he said, polling stations.
oh, we do electronic elections, and we give people a week to vote, and we still don't get like a majority turnout. And like you said, it's about getting people to care about these things, but I mean, as ASI, we've done our best to get people to care about ASI and government and realizing what your fees are going towards, but there's just a number of people that don't really care. I've been doing classroom presentations and there's no reaction from my classrooms, and I'm just like, okay, you just want this to pass, okay. So I think that's something very important, getting people to care. That is what is the issue here.
The question is not whether students care or not. Again, I just want to reemphasize, because I feel like my question was dodged, was the methodology in which students are outreached to isn't effective. And that's the point that I want to make, is that the methodology for students, outreaching students is ineffective, and the lack of student participation is not a lack of student interest, it's a lack of effective outreach and engagement, right? So to put the blame on students, personally, I find that a little offensive, to say that students don't care, because students do care, because every student is affected by this issue. So the question is methodology. And just to get, and I promise this is the last thing, how many people here care about this issue? Okay. Now, how many people here want to vote on this issue? Okay, in every forum, the vast majority, like at least 80% of the participants in these forums have requested, a referendum. So, just to reemphasize, methodology, to have an effective outreach to students to be able to vote, to consider alternative processes to increase the access to students to vote.
I think the hand raising is why we have this conference, to give us a sense of what people are saying. And so and I think the point is that this is important, and so gathering this kind of information is very helpful to us. And I absolutely agree with you. If you had a referendum, a student success rate, an additional cost of attendance is going to bring out more people. And if you're going to do that, we would try to bring out the largest amount of students that can vote just this campus. I think the issue is that important. So if we go down that route, you can be sure that we're going to be aggressive in having students on this campus. Again, this is the information that's helping us.
Thank you. We now have a question from a member of the audience, and the question reads, with the expansion and renovations of the school considered, how will we begin to broadcast Dominguez outside of campus, such as commercials, scholarships that will generate new students on campus?
Repeat the first part of the question.
Okay. I think that what it's basically trying to say is that what can Cal State Dominguez Hills do to generate more applicants into the university? And some suggestions are commercials, scholarships, and things to broadcast the university, the image of the university outside to the community for students to attend.
I'm Carrie Stewart, the Vice President for University Advancement. I actually think that's a really fabulous point. I mean, there's so many great things to talk about at Dominguez Hills. And we have, in the past, focused primarily on prospective students and their families when we've thought about marketing and outreach to our audiences. But our base is much broader than that, and we're very proud to be the University of the South Bay. We have a lot of fabulous community supporters. One of the things we're focusing on is greater engagement of our alumni. We have a large majority of them who live in a 50-mile radius of the campus. We have about 70,000 alumni. So anything we can do to get them to begin to promote the institution and support the institution is one of the things we're going to be focusing on. And we're making that a top priority as we begin to kind of retool our marketing efforts.
31,000 students applied to this school. So there's been a lot of marketing to have people be aware of this university, and there's been a lot of effort out there to tell and bring some stories. We accept our largest class. I was just asking of 4,000, 1,200 freshmen, and the rest of them transfers. So there's a lot of demand for this university. Marketing, you can always do more, but again, at 31,000 students applying, we expect to go each year. The word is out on this campus in terms of students wanting to come to school.
And the good news is, and I don't know how many of you made our town hall meeting. We just had a recent strategic planning town hall, and the vice president shared how many hits we're now getting to our website, which is a very important. A lot of people can't drive by Dominguez, but they can be both regional and international even, and hit our campus. And we used to get, in 2010-11, about 38,000 hits. We're now up to about 2.5 million hits to our webpage. And some of those are internal, admittedly, but a lot of them are also external. So we just really have to get better at telling our own story. There's some good things going on here at 1000 Victoria Street. And as Andrew said, our marketing is not only going to get better, but it's also going to get stronger around who we are and what we do. And I think the success fee is certainly beginning to generate some buzz.
You know, we know that all of you come here for a degree. All of you come here for a diploma. And the value of a diploma is partly informed by the perceived reputation of the institution and the perceived value of that diploma from that institution. So not only does this help you while you're here, but as we increase the value of Cal State Dominguez Hills as perceived by the community, your degree and your diploma becomes worth a lot more. If you look at institutions that have grown in reputation and in integrity over the past decade, the alumni of that institution have also benefited from the perceived value of their degree and of their diploma. So that's a degree to consider in the long run, that this continues to give even once you've graduated.
I had an additional comment on that. As I said earlier, the goal for me is to get you out of the degree. Last year, the 6-year graduation rate, which is the national measurement, only 28% of Dominguez Hills students got the degree after 6 years. There are a number of them continue, but you know how it is when you try to get a class, you can't get it, or you have some other issue comes up, you drop out, or you take longer and you're paying more. The system-wide goal for this campus by 2014 is that we have a graduation rate of 40%. 28% getting a degree after 6 years is in many ways unacceptable. But we know a lot of our students work full-time, but we also know a lot of our students don't have all of the support. You make what we have to top priority, advisors. Someone taking weeks before they can get to an advisor. You may have to make a decision, and if you make the wrong decision in selecting your classes, you could add another semester or another year, and that's going to cost you dollars. So one of the things we want to do successfully is what helps students get out. I'll give you a very good example in terms of the bridge program this campus has. When I arrived here, they had a bridge program that the research was showing that the students went to the bridge program and transitioned from one year to the next at a 90%, 91% rate. And I said, with that, I think it was a pilot, you have like 1 or 2 people. I said, wait a minute, if that program is that successful, why don't we have that program for all the freshmen coming into this program? And the answer I got, we didn't have the money for it. So we went and we squeezed out $700,000 one-time fund. We gave it to the bridge program. We took this pilot from 200, we now have, I think, 650 or 700 students in it, and the research is showing that those students are showing the same strong year-to-year transition. Because you got to go from freshman to sophomore, junior, senior to get out. But we were having huge drop-offs at the first or second year. So the money we gave them was one time. We're going to scrape and find that money again, because the research shows that program is going to have more students graduate from this campus than we've had in the past.
Then you should be starting off the freshmen, not fucking everybody.
That's the kind of thing that we have baseline funds, make it permanent funds. And And the dollars come from the success we're becoming. So they don't have to worry like, okay, can we squeeze out enough percent one time? If we know that it works, help our students graduate, we ought to be doing it. That's a good example where a lack of money was actually not giving students support they would get.
Thank you very much. I'd like to introduce Cristina Garcia Rosales on behalf of ASI. She's the Executive Vice President. Okay. Now, another question.
My name is Sage Shubisek. So just a couple of things again. What you had said about being able to withstand, I guess, the quality of our degree from Dominguez Hills. I completely agree. FCC, I sent a picture to my mom my first day I came here. My mom went to those classrooms. My mom is a lot older than me. So I completely agree in the sense where that might need to be fixed. The quality of the degree, most of my family graduated from Dominguez Hills. That was one of the main reasons why I came here. I don't think that the quality of the degree needs to be changed. I think that it is great where it's at and it's only getting better. I said it, Dr. Franklin heard me in the last forum, education is what you make it. So this degree is what I'm making it, what everyone else is making it, and as students, we need to be heard. So Dr. Hagan, my only question is I've been here for 2 years and I've never met you. I've never seen you. In fact, I've never seen any of you until now. So my question is why don't you engage with students more if you really care about our voice?
I've been here a year and a half, and I believe I'm the only president that has regular lunches with faculty, staff, and students, so I'm positive I'm not met you yet. There's 15,000, I'll get to it. But I've met a lot of students on this campus, because the students really are what makes this campus work. And I didn't say the quality of the degree wasn't good. What I'm saying is that we can strengthen the quality of education, because you're absolutely right. There are a lot of folks in this university, a lot of folks struggling getting jobs. But I've had meetings where both students and faculty are saying, I think it's the writing center, that we need to strengthen our writing. How come our tutoring center doesn't alter these classes? How come I go visit my friends at Long Beach, they take the same class, and they use this equipment, I'm using this equipment. So, as I said, I didn't wake up one day and say, let's want to talk about student success. It was from talking to students, and as I said, I get emails like raindrops, okay? And students don't write to me and say, hey, how you doing? They write to me and say, how come I couldn't get my class here? How come I couldn't use my bike? So I'm looking at all of that information, going around, and I said, we have to have this conversation, because we have a good degree, because we got outstanding faculty. We got some of the best faculty in the CSU. And the best faculty, even Debbie from UC6, on this campus. We got some outstanding staff on this campus. We've got students who can written money, you're getting financial aid, they're almost all working, all paying something, who are here. So my whole thing was that if we're doing this with the limited resources we have, how much better can we do it? So I got students saying, I want a chance to strengthen my writing. I've got families saying, we want to strengthen. We want to do that. So it's not about saying that degree isn't good. It's about saying that we can give the students a stronger education on the latest equipment, give them some experiences, opportunities, some job training, some job prep work that schools with more money than us have. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can I at least address their question in terms of, like most of the folks up here, many of our students are commuters. They commute on, they commute off. But personally, and from my role, student interaction is what I do because it's what my job is. To interact with students, to engage students, to find out who students are, to look where students' needs are. And I'm daily interacting with students. And so are some of the folks up here who can really speak for themselves. But it is so important to understand that our lens around student success is because we really do care about students. And interacting with students is important too. When you only have 600 to 700 beds on campus, students are commuting on and commuting off. And which makes sense, but we certainly try as much as we can. I was even hoping that more of you were in our forum last week around strategic planning, because your voice is so important. And And so we're going to have more forums. We're going to continue inviting you out in terms of our strategic planning. That's the direction that this president wants to take us over the next 3 to 5 years. And that's so important to hear what students think and what they feel. And that interaction is important, and I know it's really critical. I know there are a lot of other folks here that often interact.
Yeah, I'd just like to say that I don't want the students to think